The morning light spread softly across the countryside, painting the fields in shades of gold and green. Dewdrops clung to the blades of grass, sparkling like tiny stars that had forgotten to fade with the dawn. The air was fresh, filled with the quiet fragrance of damp earth and wildflowers, and each breath seemed to carry a sense of peace. As you begin your slow walk along a narrow path, the sound of your footsteps blends gently with the songs of birds perched in the hedgerows. Their melodies are not hurried but calm, like little whispers reminding you that time here flows differently. There is no rush, no pressing demand, only the path meanders through open meadows, where butterflies hover lazily from one bloom to another. A gentle breeze brushes past, bending the tall grasses into soft waves, like the rolling surface of a green ocean. You notice how every detail, from the flutter of wings to the sway of the leaves, seems to move in harmony, creating a quiet symphony of Estahir and their wild daisies peek out from the edges of the track, their white petals wide open to the sun. Bees hum gently as they weave from flower to flower, patient in their task, never in a hurry. Watching them, you feel a sense of calm seep deeper into your heart. As if their steady rhythm teaches Yosun, the path leads you to a small wooden bridge arching over a stream. The water flows gently, carrying reflections of the sky on its surface. If you pause to listen, you can hear its quiet song, a soft gurgling that speaks of time flowing endlessly forward, yet without haste. You lean against the wooden rail and take a deep breath, letting the cool air wrap around you, grounding you in this tranquil moment. On the far side of the bridge, the path narrows again, winding into a shaded grove of old trees. Their branches form a soft canopy above, where rays of sunlight filter through like golden threads. The earth beneath your feet is softer here, covered in fallen leaves and moss. Every step feels like a gentle whisper against the forest floor, reminding you to tread slowly, respectfully, as though entering a sacred space. You pause in the shade, listening to the hush of the trees. It is not a sound meant to fill the silence, but rather to accompany it, like a low note in a soothing lullaby. Walking further, you find yourself at the edge of a meadow again, where the open sky greets you warmly. The horizon stretches wide, a reminder of the endless peace this countryside holds. You realize this walk is not about reaching any. Stepping out from the meadow where the horizon stretched wide, you allow your footsteps to find their own pace, neither hurried nor forced, simply in tune with the land around you. The countryside has a way of guiding the body into a rhythm as natural as breathing. Each step feels like part of a quiet meditation, as though the earth itself were teaching you to walk slowly, to savor the journey. The path soon bends gently to the right, where a cluster of willows leans gracefully over the stream. Their long branches dip low, almost touching the water, swaying slightly with the breeze. You pause to watch the way the sunlight plays on the leaves, glimmering like silver against the green. The stream carries fallen petals downstream, turning them slowly, as though reluctant to let go of their delicate beauty. Standing there, you notice how time seems to stretch open, not as hours on a clock, but as moments lie a little further along. The land opens into fields dotted with sheep grazing lazily. There you contemplate, and the wall lies a field of tall grasses swaying like a sea under the breeze. The grasses bend and rise, their tips brushing against each other with a whispering sound, as if they are speaking in a language too subtle for words. You step carefully through a small gate, noticing how even such a simple act, opening a gate, passing through, closing it gently behind you, feels meaningful in this unhurried world. Here, nothing is rushed, and everything deserves attention. As you move on, you spot a narrow track leading uphill. Curiosity draws you toward it, and though the climb is gentle, it reminds you of how the countryside invites both body and spirit to stretch a little further. Along the way, you pass patches of wild thyme and heather, their fragrance rising as your steps brush against them. The scent is delicate yet grounding, like a quiet reminder of the earth's richness. With each breath, you feel more awake, more alive, yet deeply calm. Reaching the top of the hill, you're greeted with a wide view of the valley below. Fields spread out like a quilt of greens and yellows, stitched together by hedgerows and narrow lanes. In the distance, you can see a small village, its rooftops clustered together, smoke rising faintly from a chimney. The bell of a church tolls, carried faintly on the wind, marking the hour not with urgency, but with a kind of steady reassurance. You sit on a smooth rock and take in the view, letting the stillness settle into you. The countryside, in its vastness, somehow feels both expansive and intimate at once. After some time, you continue on, following the path that curves down the hill toward a grove of oak trees. Their trunks are thick and gnarled, roots sprawling. Across the ground like ancient veins, the shade they cast is deep and cool, and the air within the grove feels almost sacred. Sunlight filters through in dappled patches, painting the ground in shifting patterns of gold and shadow. You pause to rest your hand on the bark of one tree, feeling its strength, its quiet endurance. Trees like this have watched centuries pass, and yet they stand, offering shelter and peace without asking for anything in return. Further along, the path opens into another meadow, this one filled with wildflowers in full bloom. Poppies, cornflowers, and buttercups scatter across the field, creating a sea of colors that sway gently with the breeze. Butterflies dance among them, their wings catching the light as they flutter from one blossom to the next. The scene feels almost like a painting, vivid yet serene, alive yet unhurried. You find yourself walking more slowly, almost reverently, as though not to disturb the harmony of the moment. A small wooden bench stands at the edge of the meadow, weathered but sturdy. You sit there for a while, listening to the hum of bees, the rustle of the grass, and the faint sound of the stream still flowing somewhere nearby. Closing your eyes, you let the sounds weave together into a gentle lullaby, soothing every part of you. Countryside does not demand anything. It simply offers its presence, its quiet invitation to rest and to notice. When you rise again, the path takes you toward a village lane. A few cottages appear, their gardens bursting with roses and lavender. The scent drifts into the air, sweet and calming, mingling with the faint aroma of wood smoke. Cat sits lazily on a stone wall, blinking at you with slow, unbothered eyes before stretching and curling back into its nap. An old wooden gate creaks gently as the wind moves it, and somewhere nearby, you hear the soft clatter of dishes from an open kitchen window. Passing through the village, you notice how time seems slower here too. An elderly man tends his garden, carefully watering each row of beans and tomatoes, pauses to nod at you with a kind smile, then returns to his work with the patience of someone who knows the value of each moment. Children's laughter rings out from the far end of the lane, where they chase each other around a large oak tree. Their joy is simple, pure, needing no toys or screens, just the wide space of the countryside and the freedom to run at the heart. Of the village stands a small church with ivy climbing its stone walls. Its door is open, and you step inside. The cool air embraces you, carrying a faint scent of old wood and candle wax. Sunlight streams through stained glass windows, scattering colors across the floor. You sit quietly on a wooden pew, listening to the silence that is not empty, but full of presence, of stillness, of something beyond words. Even if you are not here to pray, you feel the peace of the place, the way it holds centuries of whispered hopes and gentle reverence. When you step back outside, the afternoon sun has shifted, casting longer shadows across the fields. You follow the lane out of the village, back toward open land. The path leads you past orchards where apple trees stand heavy with fruit. The scent of ripening apples fills the air, mingled with the faint hum of bees drifting lazily among the blossoms. You reach up to touch one of the branches, feeling the round smoothness of a fruit that has grown slowly, patiently, under sun and rain beyond the orchards. You find yourself once again near the stream, though now it has widened into a broader flow. A family of ducks paddles gently, their reflections shimmering on the water's surface. The sound of the stream is deeper here, more resonant, as though carrying stories from its journey. You sit on the bank for a while, watching the ripples spread outward, disappearing softly, yet endlessly continuing. The day begins to soften, the light turning warmer, the breeze gentler. You realize how much distance you have walked, though it never felt like effort. The countryside has a way of carrying you forward without you noticing, as if your steps were guided not by destination but by the quiet unfolding of the land itself. And still, there is more to see, more to feel, more to notice as the walk continues, slow and unhurried, into the golden stretch of afternoon. The afternoon deepens, and the golden light softens across the land. Each step feels slower now, not from weariness, but from a wish to linger, to stretch this walk as far as it will go. The countryside seems to breathe with you inhale, with the rustle of leaves exhale with the sway of grasses, and together the path leads you toward a line of hedgerows, their leaves shimmering as a soft breeze weaves through. Birds dart in and out of the branches, flashing glimpses of blue and brown, their wings carrying brief notes of song. You pause, leaning gently against a wooden stile, watching as a small robin perches nearby. It tilts its head, unafraid, as though you two belong here, simply another travel crossing the stile. You enter a wide pasture that rolls gently toward the horizon. The grass is tall, brushing against your legs as you pass through, releasing the faint scent of summer warmth. Dandelion seeds drift slowly in the air, caught in beams of sunlight, floating without direction, yet carried faithfully by the breeze. Their quiet journey mirrors your own in hurried guiding. The middle of the field stands a single oak tree, broad and steady. Its branches stretch wide, offering shade and a sense of protection. You make your way toward it and rest beneath the canopy. Looking up, you see the patchwork of leaves against the sky, some glowing with sunlight, others dark with shadow. The patterns shift gently as the branches sway, creating a moving mosaic that's sitting there. You close your eyes for a while. The earth beneath you is cool, the air rich with the scent of grass and soil. In the stillness, you can hear the low hum of bees somewhere nearby, the distant call of a crow, and the soft beating of your own heart. Everything blends together into a single sound, a single presence. As though the countryside has dubbed you when you rise again, the path takes you downhill, where the stream reappears. This time it winds lazily between fields, its banks lined with wild mint and reeds. You kneel for a moment to trail your fingers through the cool water, watching as ripples spread outward. The water is clear enough to see tiny fish darting below, quick flashes of silver in the shadows. You take a sip from your cupped hands. The taste is crisp, earthy, refreshing. As though drawn directly from the heart, Oath's sun leans lower in the sky as you walk along the stream. Light glitters on the surface, breaking into shards of gold that move with the current. The air grows quieter, as though the whole countryside is preparing for rest. Sheep settle closer together in their fields, and birds begin to soften their calls. Even the breeze feels gentler, less playful. Brushing past like a U.S. you continue, the path carries you toward an orchard once more. Though now the light sets the apples aglow with a warm golden sheen. A few have by now, the sky has shifted into softer hues. The blue is fading into pale amber near the horizon, where the sun dips lower with every passing moment. The world grows quieter, slower, and yet somehow fuller. You realize this slow walk through the countryside has become more than just a path. It has become a kind of gentle journey inward, where you keep walking, knowing that the day is nearing. It's close, and that the countryside still holds one last gift for you in the glow of the setting sun. The day bends gracefully into evening. The sky, once bright with afternoon light, now begins to blush with soft shades of pink and amber. The air carries a cooler note, yet it is still gentle, wrapping itself around you like a comforting shawl. As you continue your walk, you feel as though the entire countryside is exhaling, releasing the day with sloth. The path narrows as it weaves between hedges, their leaves glowing faintly in the low sun. Ahead, the landscape opens into a wide meadow. The grass is brushed with the warm glow of twilight. Every blade seems to catch a drop of fading sunlight, so that the field shimmers softly as though sprinkled with golden dust. A hush falls over the land, not silence, but a softer music, a settling of wings, final chorus of birds greeting the you find yourself drawn toward a gentle hill that rises at the meadow's far end. Its slope is easy, inviting you upward. Each step feels purposeful, as though leading you to a place meant just for this moment. At the top, you pause, and the sight before you stills your breath. The countryside unfurls in every direction. Bathed in the colors of dusk, the sun hangs low, half-dipped behind the hills. Scattering rays that paint the sky and strokes of you sit upon the grass, its coolness grounding you as the horizon deepens in color. The air is filled with the faint rustle of evening crickets, beginning their song, the far-off call of an owl, the soft stirring of leaves. Time slows even further here, until each second feels like a bead of in this moment. You notice how the land and sky meet seamlessly. The fields stretch toward the horizon, their colors muted yet serene, while above, the heavens open into a vast canvas. It feels as though the world is both infinite and intimate, holding you gently within its embrace. You breathe deeply, tasting vase. The sun sinks fully behind the hills. The sky deepens into twilight blue. Stars begin to appear, first one, then another, then a quiet scattering across the heavens. Their light is faint but steady, reminders that even as the day ends, another kind of beauty begins. Fireflies flicker in the meadow below. They're small. Lamps blinking softly in the growing dark hue rise once more, slowly, and begin your descent from the hill. The path is dimmer now, but still clear beneath your feet. The countryside, bathed in twilight, feels even more peaceful, as though it is cradling you into rest. The stream murmurs softly in the distance. The orchard stands still and fragrant. The village lights flicker faintly on the horizon. All the places you have walked through remain with you, woven together into a single memory, a single slow, reaching the meadow again. You pause for one final look at the sky. The last traces of color fade into deep blue, the stars shining brighter. With each passing moment, you feel a quiet gratitude for the path, for the land, for the stillness that has seeped into you. The countryside has given you its gift, not in grand gestures, but in small, gentle offerings. A bird sees you take a final breath of the cool evening air, letting it fill you with peace. Then, with slow and steady steps, you continue onward, not because there is anywhere you must go, but because the journey itself has become enough. The countryside, in its quiet beauty, will remain with you.